Call again? 1 second. Chair, at this time, we'll do roll call. Chairman
Let's go.
Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde,
Yes.
sorry, Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
I have Giorgiani tentative. Commissioner Dale Caldwell, we have enough for a quorum. At this time, we'll do the reading of the public notice and the Pledge of Allegiance right after.
All right.
This meeting of the Board of Commissioners will take place electronically in accordance with Open Public Meetings Act, specifically NJSA 14:4-9.3. Notice of this meeting was given by one public advertisement with sufficient notice herewith to the Home News Tribune. Filing advance written notice of this meeting with the city clerk's office, and 3, posting this notice on the public website of the Housing Authority. During the meeting, participants, including members of the public, may be muted by the host. However, there will be an opportunity for them to participate and speak during the public portion of the meeting, where participants will be unmuted at their request. Just give me 1 second before we go into the Pledge of Allegiance. I hear him. I hear Mr. Giorgiani. Oh, wait a minute. I think I got him on my phone. Hold on 1 second. This will count. Commissioner, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Let the record reflect that Mr. Giorgiani is with us this evening. All right. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To
To the
to the
flag
flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic
for which it
which
stands,
stands
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have a chance to look at the packet and see the consideration of the meeting minutes prior? If so, I need a motion in a second.
Yes, and I'm motion.
Great. Meeting minutes, Zach.
Second.
Second, Walde. Roll call. Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
and Mr. Caldwell still absent, and Chairman Wright.
Yes.
Thank you. Should always go last, I'm being told. Let the record reflect motion passes. Informational item, it's something that I'd like to do in case it's like a catch-all where I don't have to create a resolution for every nook and cranny. And I think it's kind of good. We can kind of talk during a week or the month before, and I'm working on a project for the authority that we can talk about it. Today, we're going to discuss a developing report on a redevelopment of 100 Jersey Ave. That is better known as Jersey Ave NB Urban Renewal. It's at 100 Jersey Ave. It's a very large project. It was back December of 2020. I have documentation signed that they were the redeveloper of that project, and there's some issues going on there. I have directed our redevelopment counsel, Mr. Hoffman, to give us a status report prior to the next meeting and to see where this redevelopment schedule has taken us, construction and so on. So let's see what he comes up with. And I know there are some board members that are concerned about that property and its safety and its unfortunate appeal on the eyes is not that it's not that good. So I go by it a lot more often than most, but let's see what Mr. Hoffman comes up with based on the agreement that they had entered into and we approved as a board.
Okay.
Okay, so he'll be joining us at the next meeting,
He will,
Mr.
once
Huffman?
once he gets a status update. I kind of jumped the gun by issuing everyone a reminder of that agreement. Everyone received that this week.
No, that's
And,
good. Mhm.
we're going to give him an opportunity to let us know what the situation is there.
Did you send us the agreement?
I'm
Did you
sorry.
say you
You're
sent us
good?
the agreement?
Everyone got the agreement a couple days ago.
All right, if I don't have it, I'll let you
Yeah,
know.
it's not a of course. I'll send it
Because I
back.
checked everything. I really, okay, no problem. I'll talk to you if I.
Okay. Any other questions on that matter before we go into the other?
No, I just as long as Mr. Hoffman finds out that a property that was done many years started and everything like that. So I really would want to find out the status. We really should be finding out what's going on.
Right.
Hmm.
And once that project
Thank you.
started, quite frankly, we were supposed to be receiving bi-weekly status reports. And I can tell you,
Yes.
since I've been here for almost 2 years, I haven't gotten one.
Okay.
And
right.
part of
So-
that falls on me, right? Part of that falls on me to get an idea of all the projects and to look and the particular terms that are on there and, put on your big boy pants and say, hey, what's going on here? But listen, we're on it now, and we'll see what transpires.
Cool. Let's get up to speed on it. I'm sure it's,
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry. I had reviewed it. I thought you were talking about something else. I have it. The agreement.
Well, we
with
can't-
with urban renewal for the
The
Jersey Ave
one,
project.
the one Don was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's fine. It means the original agreement. It has the terms they agreed to. Hoffman's going to update us, so we'll cross that bridge then.
No, I thought it was
Yeah.
another one. I have already. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, we'll discuss that at the next meeting, correct?
Correct.
If
Okay.
not,
If we
before.
don't have an update for you prior to then, Dan reached out to John to get the information on the site, and it's just a matter of John being able to collect that from the actual developer, which may have been ambitious based upon when we reached out to get that info, but we'll have it shortly.
Okay.
And obviously, we don't want to leave something there that would be a hazard to the neighborhood or anything like that. So we'll get to it.
All right. Thank you.
Next up.
Oh, great. I brought on some time ago an individual by the name of Joel Bewley. He was with the Burlington County Prosecutor's Office. He's their public information officer. I've given him the challenge of looking into the digital equity dollars that are out there in the state of New Jersey that I trumpeted last meeting about there being $20 million, and I wanted to bring a digital bridge instead of a divide to the kids that attend school here in New Brunswick. And we have 159 children. We have 249 households, and many of these individuals don't have access unless they're in school to the internet. It's something that we want to go ahead and pursue and bridge that divide. That's what I wanted to tell you guys and what direction I went with Mr. Bewley. Then Middlesex County sent us a letter. There was some money that John had left there, and a young lady by the name of Raquel Estevez was the recipient of a scholarship. Right here. I can put it in the packet next time, but this just came. So that was good to see, and the money was well spent on a scholarship, and she sent us a little note. She's going to go into the nursing program.
Awesome.
So we're quite happy to see that. We are at 878 vouchers currently. That's the most that we've been in a long time. So when people talk about housing crisis and the conditions and, oh my God, people aren't, we're at the max. I mean, we're getting pretty close to the max. I can say that. Our staff's been doing a great job. Our maintenance staff's been doing a really good job inside these units, and the private contractors as well. So we've come a long way, and we're gonna just continue along. Alberta, you're gonna help me with this. I'm assuming that Joe Manfredi told you my dilemma tonight with the auditing proposal that came through the RFP. Did he speak?
Yes, I'm aware of it. Yeah.
Okay, good. So let me enlighten the board. I'm going to ask the board tonight through you, Alberto, if we can go ahead and approve that, even though I did not do a resolution as I would normally do. And I would give the board ample time to review all the resolutions, all the RFPs that I have here that'll be that will be in a resolution format for the RFP, right, to be awarded. But in this case, I'm going to ask them if they would kindly, we evaluated this firm. We've used them in the past. They are our auditors, Tony Giampolo. And the problem is they're coming on March 13th. And to my amazement, I did not see them as March. And there's a reason they have to come at that time, because when our budget is due in the spring, it has to be so far in advance that it's done. I can assure you, they were the only bidder. They do great work. They're tough, but they're fair, and they're coming here on March 13th, God willing, if I can get this board through Alberto's presentation or explanation of how we can pull this off, so I can do a walk-up resolution.
Yeah, Dan, I mean, you just explained most of it. You did have an RFP that was issued for this. You had one respondent. You have scored the matter as well. So this can be brought to the board. It was not brought prior as far as part of the board package. But the board, as any resolution, you can have a walk-up resolution to the board as far as to award this. And as Dan noted, the timing is the key here with regard to that March 13th date. Now, the board does have the ability to put this on hold and to have a special meeting for it, but I think this is something that it is scored. It was issued. It was scored, and the board can award this at this time. Obviously, with any questions as to any details here.
We have questions as to the details, with the understanding that they were the only submission for the RFP.
And the price, let me tell you, the tag is
That's what I, yeah.
typically always the same. It's 25,000. It's hovered between, I'm supposed to take the last 3 years. It's hovered between 22 and 28. So we are in this year for 25,000. Not to exceed.
Okay. And when did we put out for the bid for this? It was in November?
No. Typically, well, for all these, you'll get the other 8 in front of you. Other 8 RFPs in different matters. They went out in December. Sorry.
Okay. And they were the only ones that came back.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular category of bids?
Yes, in that particular category, they're the only ones.
They are the only ones.
Okay. You said March 13th. That's what, okay.
They're coming March 13th to do the audit here at the Housing Authority.
Yes,
So
that's
that we have the runway to prepare to include it for our filings in the spring.
So typically how these audits work, they're auditing the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
We already have a contract with them the previous year that has not eclipsed. It has not
sunset.
Thank you. So
okay.
Being that there's a new pot of money, and being that they would probably do it on the understanding that they would get paid later, but what if my board said no? Right? My board could say, hey, send it back out. No. They're on a strict, and they have very good reputation. I was very pleased with them. This is something I'm coming to you guys with in hopes and understanding that you'll do what Alberto said was legally possible to do, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board? All right, seeing none.
Yeah, I have a question as chair regarding this here. Dan, if you don't mind reiterating, you said we had them for a year already under contract or agreement, and they're the only ones that submitted or was approved of this particular option.
Once I put out the bid to anyone who was interested in bidding in this particular field, of an auditor. They were the only respondents back.
And we have space
That was
for
the
the,
question. Yeah.
and we have space for the currency of between 22Ks and 28Ks.
I'm going to set a firm price at 25,000.
with an NTE.
Okay.
I thought Mr.
Thank you, Dan.
Wallace's question was, you said they are doing, I mean, they did 2024 audits, right?
2023. They're always a year behind.
23. Oh, 23. Oh, okay. So the next one is 24. This contract is for the 2024.
Yes.
Okay.
And that will be paid in 25.
Yeah,
budget.
yeah. When do they start auditing for 2024?
March 13th.
Yeah,
Oh, March
that's
13th.
when, yeah.
Okay, okay.
It's really a weird time out of all the contracts I have for them to do it at that time, where it really should be after our budget is up July 1st. So I've got my new financial controller looking into that and why we can't do it in July to reflect the entire year prior. But it's something I guess that historically has been done, and it's done early. And sometimes I've even noticed back in the books, they'll take this particular audit for RFP and they'll move it back. They'll bring it like as far back as October to start advertising for it.
Okay.
But
So ultimately, we have to determine whether we're going to move forward with the vendor that we've used previously and is the only submission for our RFP, or if we're going to hold off to see if we receive additional submissions and thus push the deadline back to initiate this audit, potentially causing future complications in the spring.
Well, yeah, and Chair, I would just clarify one thing. You wouldn't get any additional bids or responses at this time. The other option would be to go back out for another round, which obviously would delay
Correct.
the process.
Okay.
So,
okay. So when we move to resolutions, I only have one this evening, payment of bills. I will add that as a second resolution and you guys vote how your heart's desire. But at this time, I'm gonna, if there are no more questions and there's
Just
nothing-
one question.
Yes, sir.
Why do we need to send it out? Because no one is coming back. It's just a waste of time, really.
No, we're
It's
we're
your
not
option.
sending. It's
Okay.
our option though, and then we
Okay.
have to.
That's an option. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an option, and as
Yeah.
Alberto, so we'll
Yeah.
decide when we do the resolution and
Very
everything.
good. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to present it to you guys and give you as much facts as possible. So when
No,
we
thank
put it-
you.
Yeah. Thanks.
we put it in a resolution format, you guys can vote how you want. But I have to, if there are no more questions or there's no more talk, I'm going to introduce Matthew Ferguson. He's our council liaison. He is what Rebecca Escobar did for us for so many years. And hopefully he can be half as good as she was. He'd be a success, right? So go ahead, Matt. Why don't you introduce yourself, Councilman?
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, I have big shoes to fill with Rebecca leaving this board as the liaison. We did a little bit of commission and committee roulette on council this year, so some different folks are getting exposed to different areas of the city. Just a little bit about me. I mean, I was born and raised in South Jersey, but I've lived in New Brunswick on and off since 2002. I did move around a little bit for some professional pursuits, but I've been back since 2018. I'm a homeowner here on city council. I own my own business in town. And the other thing I'll just say is my formal training is I have a master's in urban planning from the Blaustein School at Rutgers University. So housing issues, urban design issues, urban planning issues are, a part of kind of my formal training. So I hope I can be of assistance whenever possible, and just let me know how I can help, and just really pleased to be here. So I am on mute because I have a new 4-month-old puppy behind me and who likes to bark a little bit. So I'll come off mute if anyone needs anything, but I don't want you to be disturbed by his little barks. So thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Welcome aboard, Matt.
Commissioner Giorgiani, you want to say anything for Matt right now?
No, I'm cool. I'm glad we got somebody.
All right,
It's good. Part of the team.
great. At this time, are there any other questions before I move to public comment?
See none.
Okay, we'll come back to you guys in a second. Anyone from the public like to say anything at this time?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Are you in a recliner?
I'm in a comfy chair
Relaxing.
tonight. Yes, good to be with you all. And yeah, I'll also start by formally welcoming the new council liaison, Mr. Ferguson, and really pleased to see some of the items on tonight's agenda, in particular, taking a hard look at that 100 Jersey Avenue development and checking where that developer is at relative to the things they agreed to do. I think that's something that should be routine for this authority. All redevelopment agreements should be regularly checked up on. And if there's a developer that's not meeting their commitments to the authority and to our city, action needs to be taken. So I'm very pleased to see that's being followed up on. And it's apparent that work has stopped on that major construction project. And I think I mentioned on the last call some news articles casting some doubt on the wherewithal of this corporation to be able to deliver development projects. So I think that this is a step in the right direction, and I'll be eagerly awaiting the report from Mr. Hoffman. I also really commend the authority for pursuing this digital equity. I see it on the agenda as a digital equity plan. I think that that's a really important issue. Obviously, none of us could be on this meeting tonight if we didn't have internet access. And I think we've found in these meetings that, when there's an in-person opportunity, the residents of the public housing are way more likely to participate and attend. And that's a function of the digital divide. And so I think it reinforces the need to have your meetings be hybrid meetings as opposed to only one or the other. And I hope that you'll consider that suggestion and pursue that, as well as pursuing, helping folks get internet access, especially the children of New Brunswick. I think that's a really important thing for families and children to have. And yeah, I applaud the authority for doing that. I think we still have a long way to go in terms of improving the authority website and the online presence that NBHA has. But, a great first step is to get the actual residents of the public housing to be more connected to not just the housing authority's internet presence, but the entire rest of the internet, where, of course, so much of our lives are these days. So, tonight, our meeting's being recorded and broadcast by New Brunswick Today, live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And that's something we do as a public service. I also suggest that the authority pursue doing it just in case we can't. And I don't have much more to comment on, but I did want to ask, I heard something about a new financial controller at the authority. Could I just get their name?
He's part-time. His name is Tony Musi, M-U-Z-I. He comes with a lot of experience. I can give you his resume. And pretty sharp person.
Wonderful. And I don't think I have any other questions tonight. So I'll just wish you all well, and thanks for hearing me out.
All right.
Thank you, Charlie. Thanks for carrying on the message. You didn't ask about our housing progress.
Thanks for the reminder. I did want to mention that there was a big talk about a major effort to build new housing in the area where you're sitting right now at the Schwartz Robeson. Is there any update on that?
It's coming. That's all I can tell you. If the chair wants to enlighten you some more, I'm sure he can talk to you ad nauseum about it. Why don't you guys set up lunch and you guys can talk so I can get my board home, because I told him it was going to be a quick night. Zach, when he comes back into town, you guys can get together.
I'm for it. We can do it.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Thank you. Have a good
You
night.
wait, Charlie, thanks. Okay, public comment is over. My secretary's,
motion.
my secretary's report went in. There's no other unfinished business besides our new housing stock. So we can close this out.
Yeah, I have one question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Charlie just mentioned that the meeting is transmitted through Facebook and YouTube.
Yep,
Is that legal or is
it
that?
is legal. Any public
Is it?
meeting.
Okay, I just
I'll
want
let Alberto, sorry, I don't mean to cut into your action there.
No problem at all, Dan. Yeah, absolutely, Commissioner. It is legal. And anyone can come in and record the meeting. It is a public meeting, so it can be recorded.
Okay.
And obviously, Charlie reports that through the internet. That is legal and allowed in the state of New Jersey. So
Very good. I just want a clarification.
yes.
Great. Any other questions from anyone else? We can close that segment out. Chair, I'll need a motion in a second.
I motion.
I second.
Thank you. At this time, roll call. Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Chairman Wright,
Yes.
and Dr. Caldwell still absent. He didn't show up. Okay, let's move on to these two resolutions. We only have one in writing until I amend it. Resolution 2025-226, number 6. Resolution authorizing and approving the payment of bills for the month of January 2025.
I motion.
Great.
Second.
Moves. Second by Dunlap. Roll call. Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
Chairman Wright,
Yes.
and Mr. Caldwell is absent. Let the record reflect, motion passes. Alberto, you want to help me with this one? I can start
Yeah.
it. Make
Yeah,
sure I get
absolutely.
everything in. At this time, resolution number 7, identifying the year 226. I'm sorry, 226 as the date, year 2025, number 6 resolution. Proposal to perform auditing services for the Housing Authority of the City of New Brunswick.
Yeah, I think it would be, Dan, just to correct, I think it's number 7. I think number 6 was the payment of bills.
I can go to 7 if I don't have to use
Closed
6.
session.
Yeah,
Right.
if I don't have to use executive session.
Right,
So,
right.
okay, so number 7, we'll that's good. We'll keep that.
Yeah, I think we'll go to 7. If we need executive session, we could change that to 8 then. So
Great. Understanding that the services will be performed this fiscal year for the year ending June 30th, 2024. I got some good news, Yurgo. Total fee not to exceed, and there's number of hours here, not to exceed 94 hours at an hourly rate of $225 and $150 accordingly, not to exceed $17,570. That is the final number, not to exceed that amount. They would have to come back before you. Let me say it again, $17,570.
Better.
Okay?
Okay.
At this time, there are no other questions. I'll need a motion and a second on the audit RFP. Yurgo,
Yes.
move. Second, please.
I'll second.
Thank you, Chair. Roll call. Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Chairman Wright.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Who second? I forgot.
I second it.
Oh, sorry, Chair.
Yep.
I got that. And Dr. Caldwell's not here. Great. Resolution passes. At this time, I don't have any further business. I'd love to hear from anybody, Matt, yourself. And if not, we can move for an adjournment.
I don't have anything to add tonight. Thank you for letting me observe, and I'll look forward to the next meeting.
Great. Oh, and
Fantastic.
Commissioners, I wanted to also tell you, David Blevins will be joining us, hopefully, the next meeting as the new commissioner taking over for Doug Pettix.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
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 Mr. Ferguson, Councilman Ferguson is just our liaison like Rebecca was. He holds a lot of power as well, so go
Yes.
get us some money, Councilman.
I'll
All
work
right.
on it for you.
Great. So we're gonna move for an adjournment if there's nothing else. Chair?
Move.
I've got nothing. I move to adjourn.
I
Great.
second.
Second, roll call, Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Chairman Wright.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Great.
Uh,
Thank